Today we are going to focus on one band and one band only, one of my favorite bands, the Yeah Yeah Yeah. So let's go. 2001 brings us their self-titled debut EP, Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I've seen some people call it Master, but that's just the little necklace she's wearing. That's Karen O on the front, if you didn't recognize her. I picked this up maybe 2014 at Angry Moms Records in Ithaca, great store. I'm pretty sure they survived COVID so far. I hope so. It's a good store. It's like in the basement of a bookstore there in downtown area. So this is her debut. I bought this well after I had become a fan. Bang, Mystery Girl's really good. Art Star's really good. Miles Away, Our Time, all really cool tunes. Great record to pick up. If you can find it somewhat cheap, it's probably good since it's only 5 songs, but good record. Next up, 2003 brings us their debut, Fever to Tell, which this is the inside. Actually, the vinyl of this was only available as a picture disc for the longest time, and it was always very expensive if you'd find it. So they finally, I guess for the 15th anniversary, released it, reissued it on vinyl, and they offered this opportunity to pick up a box set of it, which that's what this is, and it was pretty expensive. I think I picked this up when it came out, which maybe was 2017 or 18 when they released this, and I probably was working quite a lot that year because I had the extra cash to spend on this. In hindsight, it's a cool box set. I think in hindsight, I probably should have or could have waited and just got the single vinyl EP release that came out after the fact, but picked up the box set. This is the vinyl for the album Fever to Tell. The box set came with this. This is where the vinyl was stashed in, and there's a second album. There's some artwork. This is the sleeve that one of the vinyls is on, and there's in here. Oh, there was this like newspaper that was included with just artwork and lyrics and stuff. Kind of cool. There was a second LP included with like B-sides and B-sides and like rare tracks and stuff like that from other EPs. Machine. This was Pin, Date with a Night, and this was the Maps EP. These are like the CD covers, and this is, I guess, the first time any of this stuff was on vinyl. This is on black vinyl as well, right? Yeah. So this is the box set, and then it also came with this book, which, this was the 15th anniversary of like their debut. This Fever to Tell was their debut like full length, so this was like a big thing to celebrate for them. There's all this book that came with it with all these pictures. A lot of them, I think, taken by Nick Zenner, the guitarist, from the road and stuff like that. And came with this patch, this stocking, which is stuffed in there, can't get it out. And it came with this cool kind of cork top that's actually USB that had more, I think it might have had all this stuff, all the tracks, digital tracks for those albums, plus maybe some extra tracks, and also it has a film about their first tour that's on here, like it's probably a QuickTime file or something like that. And then I don't have down here, I have it upstairs. It also came with a cassette tape that I guess was like a reproduction of their very first demo that they put out, and I think there's 4 tracks on there, and it's kind of in a cool package because it's replicating the demo sort of that they had been passing around town back then before they were on a label. But a great record. Date with the Night's awesome. Tick, Pin, Y Controls, maybe one of my favorite tunes by them. Maps, of course, is on here, which was my introduction to the band and a lot of people's introductions. Oh, here we go. It's got it listed here. The B-sides, the other vinyl B-sides has Modern Things, Graveyard, Yeah, New York's pretty cool, Countdown. The other side is taken from their 4-track demo, which is Maps, an early version of Maps, Tick, Date with Night, a bunch of cool stuff on this. It's a cool package, like I said. It was very expensive, and there are times where I was like, if it came out now, I probably would have just held off and just got the single vinyl release of the album. But it was like a pre-order, and I had this. I think it was like limited. I don't know how many it was limited to, but I had this. I thought maybe it was going to sell out and I wouldn't be able to get it, so I just said F it and picked it up. 2006, we get Show Your Bones. This is I think my favorite album by them. It was the first time I saw them live. When this album came out, I went and saw them. They were playing at Roseland in New York, and I went to that show. I picked up this on CD when it came out because I really liked Gold Lion, and it was funny because I'd heard the Fever to Tell album prior, a couple of years before, whenever it came out, 2003. And I liked Maps a lot. I saw Maps, the video on MTV, and I really liked it. And then I had a copy of the Fever to Tell album, like a bootleg, like whatever, somebody passed off to me. I didn't buy it. And I don't remember nothing really, stood out to me. I wasn't all that crazy about it, so I just kind of forgot about it. And then when Gold Lion came out and Fever to Tell was on sale for like half price at a Best Buy in New York on like 23rd Street, so I picked this CD up, and then I said, well, screw it. Like, Fever to Tell is only $6 for the CD, brand new. So I said, let me grab it, and then I really got into them, and I saw them at that show, and it was great. And then I just started becoming a fan, and like I said, this album's really probably my favorite. Gold Line, Way Out, Phenomenon, Honey Bear, Cheated Hearts, which has got a really cool video where a lot of fans sent in some video stuff, so they spliced it together. Dudley, The Sweets, Warrior Turned Into is really good. Great record. Really like this one a lot. From 2009, we get It's Blitz. I picked this up also at Angry Moms, where I got the EP, self-titled EP. Because I think when it first came out, I wasn't bananas about it, but it kind of grew on me. Zeros on here. I feel like this was the album they're starting to kind of shift towards, have a little more of a kind of dance or electronica influence on some of their music. Heads Will Roll was pretty popular. Soft Shock's really good. Dull Life is really good. Dull Life, I remember seeing them live because they put out a EP called Is or Isis, I don't know, whatever. Only on CD. I don't think that's on vinyl, surprisingly. But I remember seeing them at Webster Hall when that came out, and I remember them playing Dull Life, but I didn't know what it was at the time. But I remember that song sticking out. I didn't know what it was, so I was like, this must be a new song. And I remember really liking it. And then when this came out and I heard it, I was like, oh, that's that tune that I heard them play at Webster Hall. Runaway is really good. Hysteric is my favorite on this. Yeah, Hysteric's my favorite tune on this. And vinyl's got like this kind of cool like pizza motif, I guess. This is like the bottom of a pizza. And then here's the pizza with their little collage of stuff. I have this weird feeling like maybe the CD opens up as if it's a pizza box. Because I think, let me see inside. No. But for some reason, I thought there was more to the pizza motif than just that. But anyways, good. I think this is where they introduced the little eyeballs. If you'd go see them live, the eyeballs would be bouncing around at the concert and stuff. Anyways, good album. It's Blitz. Cool, kind of cool cover. And finally, 2013, their most recent studio album, we get Mosquito with this bizarre cover that everybody thought was so weird. I picked this up at Capital City Records in Baton Rouge. Not crazy about this record. By the time I saw this at Capital City, I was just like, well, I got all the other ones. I might as well pick this one up. It's not too bad. It was only $15. But like I said, I wasn't crazy. Again, more of a dance, electronica kind of vibes seeping into the music. Mosquito was kind of released as a single, sort of sacrilege, I think, too. Under the Earth is my favorite tune on this. I really like that song, Under the Earth, but Subway's pretty good. The fall of 2013, I went and saw them live. It was almost like I was on tour with them. I saw them, I think, in outside of Seattle. Then I was going to be in Portland like a week later or something, and they were playing there. So I was like, went and saw them in Portland. And then when I went back to the East Coast, they were playing in Brooklyn at the hell's the place there called? The Barclays Center. And so I went and saw them again. So like 3 times within a month I went and saw them. And Harmar Superstar was opening for him. That was the first time I'd ever seen him. It was a really good show. The AAA has always put on a great show, and that weird kind of, I guess there's like some sort of weird computer art. I think the cover art was inspired by the Garbage Pail Kids. I think if I remember correctly, Karen O was a big fan of the Garbage Pail Kids growing up, and that's where the inspiration for this artwork came from. It's kind of cool, but a lot of people, I remember at the time, thought it was awful, like worst album cover they'd ever seen. But anyways, so like I said, this was their last record they had put out in 2013. They toured a little bit, since then. They did anniversary shows in 2018, I guess, 2017 or 18. Anniversary shows. I went and saw them in Brooklyn. I mean, it's been almost 8 years now since they've recorded new stuff. Karen O's put a bunch of other side project stuff out. I think Nick Zinner has as well. Maybe, I know Brian Chase, the drummer, has put out some side project stuff, but I don't know what they're doing. They're just not recording together for some reason. I mean, obviously the band's still somewhat of a unit, but it'd be cool to hear some new stuff from them. Hopefully they're working on something, but that's the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. That's my collection of Yeah Yeah Yeahs vinyl, and by all means, please like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of the band, what you think of these albums, your experiences maybe checking out the Yeah Yeahs or what have you, and we'll see you next time. Later on.